2, 3, fire!
Knights, Vikings, Samurai, Woolen, Outlanders, 4. Well, we already know who's going to be in the testing grounds. We saw him in the trailer. So it looks like Highlander's going to be. Interesting. I wonder what they're going to be giving Highlander. Dude, this kiss is there. Not gonna lie, man. It's freaking killing me. But it's freaking good. So I'm not talking as much, I'm just enjoying this. Come on. Work for me today was a big hectic. I mean, we got out late. We got out like at almost at 6:20. Then I came home at like 7 o'clock-ish. Guess I have to go ahead and drop off somebody at their house. So, yeah, work today was a little bit hectic. We had to do a bunch of trees today. Trees, I'm not. I hate cutting down trees. But I had to do it. It's my job, so whatever. Anyway, at the end of the day, we got to sit at the work. I just want to come home and relax until the next day. Wow, this is taking long.
And we're back to talk about
speaking of the devil.
rounds. I'm joined once again by Mr. J.C. Franette. And for the first
got a
time
new
on
dude.
the Warriors Den, William the Conqueror. Welcome to the den, William.
Sorry?
I just said welcome to the
Oh,
den.
sorry. Oh, thank you.
I did
So,
not enunciate. The Idaho came out, and it was just like, oh, that, man.
yeah, thank you
But
to having
basically
me.
everyone in Idaho sounds like Boomhauer.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Hey!
Yeah. So, yeah, we're talking about
Hey,
testing grounds.
man,
and,
don't be talking about
let's just
Boomhauer like
kick it
that.
off, JT.
Yeah, well, first, I wanna welcome William.
Kingdom of the Hell.
The Den. First time we see him around. Joined the team not that long ago, like a few months ago.
Yeah, like 3
But
months
you've
ago.
been
now.
playing
Yeah, absolutely.
forever, right? So you've been playing for Honor since the beginning.
Yeah,
of time.
pretty much since the launch, and
Yeah.
now being on the other part of the screen as a dev, that's
Yeah.
a pretty good feeling, you know.
Fresh out.
Yeah,
Shut up.
well, and
Absolutely.
the note on our cheat sheet says just after finishing school, but I wasn't sure is that after finishing school or after finishing school.
I don't think he went to fit.
Never.
No, but let's get into testing grounds
Yeah.
details. So what can players expect from the TG? Because
Yeah.
we've got the man who never skips a leg day,
Yeah.
right?
Mr. Thigh.
Yeah.
Highlander, right? So
Highlander.
Super happy. We've been wanting to do a Highlander for a while. I know the community's been wanting to, like, for us to have Highlander. And the testing.
Wow, I
grounds
didn't know
are
anybody wanted the Highlander.
so we've taken an approach here with Highlander, which is essentially we want to have the hero to just make the hero better in general. It's a really difficult to play hero. He's like kind of tricky. There's a lot of like weird things that can happen. So we focused on not really removing much. Actually, there's like I think there's one thing that's been removed. Everything else is if you played Highlander before, you can play Highlander now, except you have better tools. So that's great.
Nice.
That's what I like to see in a rework as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what players said when discussing Highlander
Yeah.
as a potential. They're just like, I hope they don't change him too much.
Yeah, right. So we
Yeah.
hasn't changed too much. Actually, he changed for the better, so that's good.
Some TLC.
Yeah, a lot of TLC. Yeah. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so
Tato.
first up, the very, very biggest change we've done, and I think people should be psyched about this, is that whenever you feint an attack now, every single time you feint an attack, if you hold the heavy button, you will fast flow into offensive stance, right? So
Yes.
how does this work? I throw a heavy, feint, hold, heavy, straight into offensive stance, right? So this is great because normally the only way you could really on live right now, like go into offensive stance, realistically, is either like you got lucky, the dodge attack, you hold it or whatever, or you backstep light into offensive stance. Those are the two ways that kind of made it safe. But now with this, you're showing an indicator. So because you're showing an indicator, your opponent doesn't really know what you're going to do. It makes it a lot easier to go into offensive stance. So that's a really, really, really big change here. It works off of every single feint that you can perform with Highlander.
Every feint.
Every single feint.
You can just
add,
whoop.
Yeah, added a couple of feints in there.
Oh.
So we'll talk about this.
There are more feints.
There's more feints. The next thing I want to talk about quickly, which is a problem with the hero right now, is backstep lights. Right now, on live, if you do this, you backstep quite a bit. You can kind of option select a lot of attacks. We don't like that. It's not a good thing. So what we've done is that the version, like when you backstep a little bit less. So it kind of removes that option. Like, if you're really close, right, and I'm backstepping, I still hit my opponent. So you can't just go and try to option select stuff out of it. And just smash out of it and get out of range and stuff. And so
it's like one of the few OSs to survive the purge.
So that's the problem with, like, whenever we have we have superior blocks on attacks and we can backstep them, it kind of creates problems there. The other thing we've done is a crushing counter version. So if you want to throw me a top heavy, it now deals 18 damage instead of 20. So again, we've lowered the damage curve a little bit here. Because again, that was a bit too strong, so that kind of works there. The other thing we've done in defensive stance defensive form rather, is the chain lights no longer have uninterruptible stance. This is a health issue, right? Players could just match this, have armor quite often
for days.
Yeah, and it was like it's a bit too strong. So removing it there makes a lot of sense. You still have it off of your heavy and off of your heavy openers. So you can still trade and do stuff with Highlander. It's just not off of the place.
There's still a lot of flashing.
Yeah. There's still a lot of flashing.
Yeah.
The other thing that we've done that's kind of cool is...
Whoa, what the hell is going on here?
We've also adjusted the speed of Highlander's heavy openers. So, top heavy opener right now... See, so if you're on live right now and you land a guard break, realistically, all you can do is zone attack to hit people.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, my friend. You can do a top heavy, and it lands because it's now 800 MS, right? If I do like a side, for example, it's blockable because they're now 9. But what happens when they're 9 is Will can do a dodge attack here, and I get a free heavy off of a side heavy now that are 900.
Shreked.
Beforehand, all you could do after a light parry is hold heavy, release it. Timing was rough, like the input comfort was not super there. You can still do it if you want. But we really wanted to give the hero like a much better way of getting into those parry punishes and not being super penalized about all of these things. That works really, really great. We've also adjusted the damage in consequence. So top is 24, sides are 27, like expected for the speed. That works out really, really well. Next we have
from
offensive form. So
for me, I got water here.
Just
in case.
You couldn't feint it before.
Always come with a backup.
Oh, dip.
It's great. Right?
That's huge.
Because now you can also, you want to know what I'm talking about? Feinting, feint into offensive.
Oh.
Do it a bit quicker there, but yeah.
I see what you did there.
So that works there. The first hit also now gains uninterruptible stance at 500 MS, so that's great. So you get armor really, really quickly. And then the second and third hit also gain uninterruptible stance at 100 MS. So you get armor here, armor here, armor here. You want to throw that at minions when a bunch of people are around you? Go ahead. You're not going to get peeled. So that's great. But we're like, yeah, this is pretty cool, but how can we make this even better?
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, was it faster?
It's not necessarily faster, but you can now chain to heavy finishes.
Oh, dip.
That also
I was way off.
You were way
I was distracted by the flash.
Yeah, but that's okay. Because now the other cool thing is that the heavy finishers also chain into zone attack.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
Cool spin, you can now go zone, do heavy, zone.
All right, so the age of man is over.
Jesus
the
Christ,
age
dude.
of the thigh-copter is
Unlimited.
Exactly. Right? But part of this is we really want to have Highlander in this form to be really, really defensive, but be able to defend himself in group fights, be amazing in the minion lane, because you can just spin through the
Yeah. No, Scotsman.
Oh,
goes-
that's gonna help out
Exactly.
with the minion
That's
names.
really, really good there. And the last change that we're adding is the top, like the front dodge heavy, the top version of it can now be feinted, which it couldn't before. So now you can probably feint, hold heavy, straight into offensive stance as well, which is really, really good there. Again, a lot of those little changes, a lot of it kind of feels almost like quality of life, but it really,
Yeah.
really helps Highlander in those cases. Now we have offensive form, right? So the main issue with offensive form is kick, because kick right now is not necessarily like it's not fast, it's not super slow either, but it kind of works. The problem is that it's reactable, and then if I'm playing against, say, a Highlander here, right, and I'm gonna do kick into keyboard toss, kind of works. The idea is that the way that mix-up was
Yeah, they made the
intended
toss
was
faster.
I'm gonna do kick into keyboard toss and catch dodge attacks. Or catch people dodging actually, but because everybody has dodge attacks right now, like if you can try to dodge attack it when I do it,
Yeah, you just
clearly it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Right? So how do we fix this? Well, kick is now. I'm gonna go back to defensive stance. Sorry, kick is now feintable.
Aha! I knew it.
Not only is it feintable, but if you're because you're currently holding heavy, right? So holding heavy, you stay in offensive stance, which is great because I can also throw my offensive heavies, feint them, stay in offensive stance.
I cannot wait to go back and read chat. on
This is like amazing there. The other thing that we've also done is all of his side dodge, all of his dodge attacks actually in offensive stance are now keyboard toss, which is also a little bit faster. If you play with
throw
Highlander
it to the
before,
ground.
you grab them. Usually, like, it used to take a bit more time. You grab them, throw them. It would take a bit longer. You still get your unblockable heavy off of it, like usual. But you have it off of this, right? So now it's crazy because when you're in offensive stance, you get even more crazy potential damage with a lot of your allies by throwing something to the floor. But that's good. The other thing that's interesting here is that if Will kind of rolls away from my feintable kick, good, kick and just roll away from it, I can front dodge and grab it, right? So there is now no escaping the kick.
No,
With
no.
thighs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that works really, really well there.
Behold
It's
my
amazing.
mighty
Honestly,
thighs.
It's a super good tool, but at the same time, if you want, like I said before, right? You want to soft feint with the keyboard toss? You can. We didn't remove it. You want to go straight to keyboard toss on neutral? You can. We didn't remove it, right? So all of these things are still in. They're not necessarily the most optimal things, but we wanted to make sure that if you played Highlander before, you can still play Highlander. You just have new things that work better.
Okay, so you don't have to get the 500-pound brain and relearn the character.
Exactly, right? But that's great.
Yeah.
Also, like for the heavies in offensive stance, we've lowered their damage and their stamina cost. So now they deal 26, used to deal 30. 30
Lower
off a dodge
stamina?
attack was always a bit crazy, but yeah, 12 stamina instead of 24. So you can actually now stay in offensive stance quite a bit longer. Have a lot more stuff there, so that's really, really, really good.
50% off all stamina
Yeah.
costs. Only in
Oh, that's what it is,
Heathmore.
right? There's some changes we've done to like dodges. I'm not going to go too much into it. We have a blog post that kind of details all of those things. Essentially, like you can flow back into the offensive stance a little bit quicker from when you're doing, and you also move a little bit further out when you're dodging from when you're on live. So that's good.
And he overall just looks a lot more fluid.
Yeah,
With these little tweaks.
Yeah, it feels really, really good. And then just the last thing that I want to go into. So we've removed every single instance of stamina damage and stamina pause, like what we've done with stuff. Again, like it doesn't really fit anything here. Like I said before, when we have Lawbringer, it's the same kind of logic there. You can also no longer. So right now, if you're on live, right, if you're in offensive form and you hold guard break, you can just do kick.
Oh, right.
kick
It'll just
infinite,
chain,
right?
chain.
So now we've kind of fixed this, so you have to tap it, and then if you're just holding it, it's not just going to happen infinitely, right?
Nice, so you're not going
Is
to
that
get caught on the startup of the next one.
Exactly, and so this might look a bit weird, like why did we remove this? It's just because it can create like bad inputs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point in having those bad inputs. So if we can clean them up, that's great. It works really well there. Also, the other thing is that like exiting.
God, dude, that food got me full, and now I'm
starting
starting to yawn. That's not good. Oh, I hate
again,
when that happens
better
sometimes.
stamina management for Highlander. Great.
Don't you
overall.
guys get that?
And then,
when you eat
the
like
final
a
piece of this cute
like a
puzzle
big meal,
is
then all of a sudden you start like
Highlander
you know
had
falling
the
asleep, you start
worst
getting drowsy.
walking
Can't
and
be it.
running speed in the
Yes.
entire game. even though you know like
And it doesn't help
big
that it's
size.
almost midnight here.
So right
Yeah.
now we've actually
Yeah,
sped
like
it
I
up
said,
to
I gotta
be,
work late, man.
equal to the
Yeah.
second slowest thing, which I think is Kensei. So he runs at about the same speed as Kensei actually. So with this, you can actually rotate to your rotation a lot better, reach points in a much more natural
Yeah,
way.
because before Highlander was not great for rotation.
right. And you had to pick rush every single time, otherwise
Yeah.
you couldn't really get to where you wanted to go. So we really like sped that up, make sure that at least like that's a bit more playable. You can get to where you
Yeah.
want to go, and that works. For
Hey, and his dedication to leg day, it finally paid off.
exactly.
So,
right?
so they
that's
made Highlander faster.
So that's it for Highlander. Like it's a lot of changes. Sometimes it doesn't look like too much, right? But we've really put a lot of care into making sure that, like I said, if you've played them before, you can still play Highlander. You just buffed them now. You can do a lot
Now,
more.
reminder to
You have
everybody,
easier
this is just
access.
testing
You
grounds.
wanna
You can
hack,
go ahead and test
in
it.
and
It's
out
not gonna
of
go
defensive and
live.
offensive form a lot more effectively. That works super well. We're really excited that we hope like
So
players
don't
are gonna
freak
like
out.
it.
This
We're
is gonna be
super
going
happy
live
about it.
next week.
That's
No, it's
Yeah.
not gonna go live.
And, yeah,
No,
this-
I mean,
This is
all
what
the
testing
tentative changes seem like they're kind of in line with what
Yeah.
players were asking, which was like, we want some tweaks, but we don't want
we don't want
to change the identity of the hero,
exactly.
or like the feel
Yeah.
of playing him. So yeah, I'm excited to get hands on Highlander because like he always felt like chunky,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
swapping out cardboard cutouts.
Constantly.
You know,
But with
yeah.
this, it's a lot more fluid.
Yeah, now it's just, and those are kind of more the heroes that I like to play. It's just like let me get in there and flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's it for
Even
the testing, though. Thanks, William, for being
The punching bag?
punching bag. Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Punching bag on the stream and off.
Yeah.
No, just
Not off. Not off.
not off.
Please
Not
not
that.
No. Thank you both so much for joining me on the stream. And for those of you home, we'll be right back with Nolan to recap everything, and we've got some community corner videos.
Finally getting rid of me.
Yeah. You can go like bask in the glory of chat's adoration.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
But stick around. We'll be right back after this transition.
Okay. Cool changes for the Highlander. Hopefully everybody's happy with that. That right there, the one that like really amazed me was the one where he did the. It's kind of like the Yomingunder one that Yomingunder has. He can go through heavy, the zone, heavy zone. This style, everything was just like spinning for the Highlander. Jesus Christ, man. Oh man. Either way, there's gonna be some good changes. Now, like I said before, this is just testing ground, so you guys are gonna be able to go ahead and test this all out for the Highlander, see what you like, what you don't like, and then if you guys, go ahead and give your feedback. The developers are gonna go ahead and put the Highlander back in the testing grounds again, so they're gonna go ahead and change some stuff and do some improvements, and then they're gonna be doing the same things what they did from the previous year with the testing grounds. They do one change, people didn't like it, change it, people liked it, but they need some more improvements. Third time, we're good. So yeah. So we're just waiting to see what happens. How about everybody's feedback is not really bad. Yeah, really cool.